Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to tell you about the time I had stalker in Finland. Let's get started. So this happened while I was still living in Finland, but not in my home city, but I had moved to a new city because I started studying in a city called Vasa in Finland. And I was living in my own place in the first floor at that time. So I started my university 2020 and I moved on September to my place. Okay, so around Christmas time I went home for 1.5 months, and when I came home on January back to Vasa, I noticed that below my window there is like a park bench, and I thought, okay, it's a bit weird, but maybe they were like taking off the snow from the area and they just left the park bench in there. And I did not think about it that much after that. But then it was February when I was laying on my couch, which is like in the middle of my apartment. I was watching TV, thinking like, it's already around 12, like at night, so maybe I should close the curtains. I stood up from my couch and I looked back for the window which was behind me, and someone's head goes down at the same time behind my window. I panicked. I just sat back to my couch. I was not moving. I tried not to watch from the windows because I was too afraid if I will see someone. I was not afraid that someone will see me, but more afraid that I will see someone there in the dark. So I sat back down. I was just almost without breathing for maybe 3 minutes. Then I decided I grabbed my phone, I grabbed my charger, and I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in. And I had this small window in my bathroom. I covered it full with my clothes because I was too afraid that I will see someone in there. So when I got to the bathroom, I was still thinking like, did I really see something? Because my mind still tried to convince me like it was nothing, I'm just paranoid, because I felt before like someone is watching, but I thought, okay, I'm just paranoid. But I was pretty sure that this time it was real. I called my mom and I said that I think at this time I really saw someone behind my window. And she was like, okay, don't think anything, just go switch off the lights, switch off TV and close the curtains. And it took me like 1.5 hours to get outside the bathroom because I was so scared to go out. And there was like this little hallway, wardrobe on the other side of the hallway to get like into my apartment. So when I finally got out of the bathroom, I went outside and I opened like one door at a time to go further because I was so afraid that I will see someone outside my window. And I was so afraid also because sometimes I had like friends over and we would open window because it got hot inside, and I was so scared, thinking like, listening to every voice, to every noise from my bathroom, thinking like maybe they got in already. What if I left like window open and they are coming in from the window? So I finally got into my like living room area. I have like bedroom in this side and the kitchen in this side. I switched off TV and lights, and I was too curious. I had to check from the window because it was winter, and I saw like a bunch of footprints on the bench which was there and on the snow. And then I just grabbed my blanket, my pillows, my scissors, because that was the sharpest thing I had, and I went to bathroom and I slept in the bathroom with lights on. So the next day when I woke up and the sun was shining and it was a normal day, it did not feel so scary anymore. I felt like, okay, if someone would come now behind my window, I could like go with my scissors in my hand. But I feel like in the evening, at night, when it was so dark that I can't even see what's outside, it made it so much more like uncomfortable. But yeah, in the morning I did go around my apartment and there was like footprints all over my apartment, like around my apartment. There was also footprints behind my door, and the size was not woman's size. So yes. And I thought like there was actually no reason for anyone to be there just for fun or just for walk, because there was snow, maybe like 40 centimeters. I went there walking and it was literally to my knees, the snow. There was no reason to be there for anyone. Also there was like fallen tree behind my apartment, so there was not even like any convenient way to go or pass through. So the next day I actually called the police on the next day, because I was thinking like, what can they do if I call them when it happened, because he probably got also scared when I saw him outside. So I called the next day and they said I could do like police report, and I did it. And then the same day I also moved back to my mom's place. I was too afraid to stay in the apartment anymore. And after 2 weeks I was in the gym in my like home city, and the police called me and they said like, okay, they received my police report, and I was not the only one who did report of the same thing happening on the same street. So then I like got even more confirmation that I'm not just crazy thinking someone is outside my window or some drunk person, but it's actually some weird person outside there. I came for 1 week to pack my things because I was moving out of that apartment. I could not live there anymore. I stayed there for 1 week, but I was seeing nightmares every night when I was there, at least like 10 times all the time. When I saw the nightmares, the problem was that someone got inside my apartment. I was calling for police, but for some reason it was not connecting or something. So I was sleeping with lights on, sometimes even with my TV on, and I slept like head other side of my bed, so I would see instantly if someone comes in. I was so terrified to stay there, and as soon as it got dark I had to close my window so like tightly that I could see nothing. Like, also I slept with scissors in my hand, and when I woke up I still had the scissors in the same position in my hand. That's how scared I was to stay there. I actually heard from my friend that his friend was also living on the same street with his girlfriend, and they had like 2 floors, and they were going to sleep on the 2nd floor, and they saw like some stick rising behind the window, and in the stick there was phone taped on the stick, and the girl screamed something, and then they just saw some man running away. So there's definitely some. And I also heard that on the same street we have like this app where you can anonymously say things or ask things, and someone wrote that they were jogging on the same area and they saw some man like looking from someone's window, and they went to ask like, what are you doing? And he was just like, no, it's nothing, it's just my girlfriend there. So yeah. So yes, after that I have not heard anything else from the police. I think it's a bit hard to catch that kind of person. I don't think they put too much effort, honestly, to catch someone who is occasionally stalking from people's windows. But yeah, that was my story about the stalker I had behind my window. I actually have one bonus story for you if you made it this far. Because I did not want to move to 1st floor anymore. I moved in Malta. When I moved to Malta, I moved to 4th floor, and I thought, okay, no stalkers in the 4th floor. So one day I was coming from the shower. I came to my room. I don't know, I probably just threw the towel away, and then I hear like some weird noise. I watched from my window and this drone stopped behind my window. And as soon as it saw that I'm looking, it flew away. But I just want to say, you're never safe from the stalkers, or maybe I should learn how to use curtains. But that was like during daytime, not even nighttime. So yeah. So that was it. Thank you for listening my story, and we see you on the next videos. Bye bye.